How's it going, everyone? It is Friday, March 1st, 2024, first trading day of the new month, and a great Friday of trading. So, we're going to get into our long-term market first, then we're going to get into our short-term market analysis. I'm going to give my bias on what swing traders will do. We're going to look at the market intraday. We're going to look at what day traders should do. I'm going to give a pick for this video. We'll remove my pick from the last video and some of the picks that we had previously that we were still holding. So on our longer term market bias, nothing has changed that much. We're still long term, technically very, very bullish. We're aware of the dark clouds ahead. We know there's some pending news statements coming out later this month, some CPI, some unemployment reports, FOMC statements. So we're aware of all those things. We're also keeping an eye on what's happening in China, keeping our ear to the wall, but we are trading what is in front of us. On a shorter term basis, let's start up with this NVIDIA gap. Big move up here on the 22nd. Took us a couple of days to digest the gains, right? A couple of days of pullback. On the 28th, you can see that we stopped making a new low. Buying and selling started to equalize. Yesterday, we had a nice gap up, and we tested the gap up. Oh, that's a beautiful chart on the F15, by the way. Test the gap up, compressed for a while, tested it again. Nice bullish hammer, and we started rallying off that level. A little bit of end of day volatility on the very last candle. So yesterday I was okay. A little bit more bullish because we had it close above the prior day high. That's what I like to see. We had a sign of support, and we tested this level around the 503, 504 level, 8 EMA, upward sloping channel, however you would like to draw it. That is pretty much what was rubbing up over here. So on a swing basis, I was long short-term swings. Today we had a flat open, moved up a little bit higher, and we had some steady buying, a bit early kind of bid check over here. We're testing to see if this is relevant, but we weren't outsized either way. Moved up a little bit higher, pulled back, moved up a little bit higher, pulled back, higher, pulled back. Nice, steady grind. Nice bullish cross here at 1035. Predicted this move beautifully. 1OP was diverging for a good chunk of the day, pretty much until, if I have to zoom in out a lot over here. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, I mean, pretty much until right on here at 140, we got this last leg higher. Nice day of gains, and then it held the gains for the last 2 hours, not doing too much over here. So this is where you can start taking some of your profits on your day trades. Day traders should have had a great day to here. Great day today. There was an excellent entry point, I believe, somewhere over here. When we held throughout most of this bearish cycle, we held the 510 resistance, and we started to inch up higher. The price action yesterday, the D1 context, and the price action today tells us that sellers have not been able to take their shot at all. They've been in control. Every time we move down, buyers gobble back up. Move down, gobble back up. Move down, gobble back up. There's no big retracement, and the move doesn't get very ahead of itself. Hugs the 8 EMA, which has a nice gradual 45-degree slope up. So day traders should have had some nice day of gains. I was not able to day trade much, and that's the same reason why this video is coming out after the market close. Was swamped with my work today, so wasn't really able to do much, but I saw some members in the chat have some excellent day of gains. Let's look at the pick from the last video, which was AMD. So when I called out the video over here, we call it the close 192.50. I said I'm targeting around 200 here for AMD. So you could probably have taken profits at the open around the 200, digest the gains, and it's still poised to go higher. So if you had a more aggressive target, if you wanted to wait and see what would happen, this stock is starting to ramp up higher and higher. I would not enter it now. It's a bit overextended, but I would ride these gains until we see some sort of bearish engulf or bearish hammer. Now, was it as strong as the market today? No, on the M5 basis, but we had a massive gap up and that gap was preserved. So it tells us that buyers are engaged. We have hammers at this gap. They want to buy here, and we got that lift off to challenge this high at the end of the day. So AMD was a really nice win. The other positions we were in previously was spot. So let's get spot up on the D1 chart. And I'm going to remove AMD here. All right. So on the 23rd, we entered spot on this nice break of compression. And spot did exactly what we wanted it to do. On the 23rd, let's go back to the market. We're going to compare side by side here. Market had some days gains higher, but wasn't able to get close above the priority high, but spot was a very strong chart. We also know that spot makes a move, then it compresses, it checks that move over here a couple of times and puts its leg higher. So because of what we could see in the market, let's make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, let's just get the 23rd up here. All right. So this was the setup that we had. We knew that if the market pulls back, we want to protect against any sort of decay, and we could sell an out of the money short put. So our target on spot was around 260, 261. So we sold the 262.50 out of the money short call for $1.65. On yesterday, we closed that for an 80% profit because we were now bullish on the market. Spot had held throughout the entire drop, which was bullish. The market had found support and started to move up, as is spot. So we closed that, and then today we took profits on the remaining spot position. Overall, a very, very nice trade. 80% on the short calls, and I made about 22, 23% on the spot calls. And you can still hold them. And in fact, I actually re-entered spot today on some shares because I still liked what I was seeing. This is an excellent break of compression to another leg higher. Excellent daily chart on Spotify, past earnings. So we like what we are seeing over here. Very tight price action, right? The trend is very, very solid. 8 EMA, excellent slope up. Very predictable. So took profits on spot. We also took profits on AXP. So after this breakout over here, we entered somewhere around on the 27th. So we missed a little, maybe $1 of gains here. AXP had a nice trickle up during this move down, but not really bouncing up with the market today and was unable to get this level at around 220. So I took a little bit of smaller profits than I'd originally expected on AXP because I didn't quite see the price action I wanted. Still a strong stock, but it has these periods of compression and then before it makes this move higher. So happy with that. I didn't want to manage too many positions. I didn't love the relative weakness here right now. So I took my profits and I live to fight another day. CFLT, I took a small loss on here. I took about a 10% loss on this position because you can see it had this trend line over here, tested the bottom, but was unable to break through until the very end of the day. So when I took the loss on CFLT, it was somewhere around here. I liked what the market was doing. I was still bullish on the market, but my original bias, and I remember you saying, I said this in the video, in the past videos several times, that after here, this stock has been compressing and it's not been doing what I wanted to do. Could it break out of the compression? Sure. We need a market tailwind? Yes. Is it still bullish? Yes. But personally, it wasn't the time. The time that I gave this trade to play out didn't really play out, right? I took this trade on the 14th. The market has rallied $14 since then. The market has done this. This stock has gone completely sideways. I know it's post earnings, and I think the mistake isn't necessarily the loss on the trade. I think the expectation is that this is a choppy trade. This is a choppy stock. It makes moves and then it compresses for some time. So I should have baked that into my original plan. I think that was the mistake. And I am fine with taking the small loss on this position over here because that was my original plan. And I stuck to what I knew what I wanted to see in the stock, what I wanted to see in the market. Because it didn't play out, let me take the small loss. Let me move on to a new trade. So CFLT is going to be a loss here. I'm going to mark that as a loss. So what are some picks for today? So a couple picks that I like today. I mentioned one spot. So let's take a quick look. And let's just admire this daily chart for a second. Let's just take a second and admire what a beautiful daily chart this is. All right. Spot. Second one here, Netflix. Netflix is an absolutely beautiful daily chart. Post earnings breakout, moves up, compresses a little bit, right? Holds the gains, and it starts to inch up higher. Breaks out of this bullish flag. So you can see here it's pulling back, day of gains, pulling back, day of gains. Now it's made a pretty big run. Usually after it makes these big runs, and the nature of the stock has been changing a little bit, but I mean, what a rally in Netflix. Let's look at that first of all. But after it makes a big move, it will usually have some sort of test and some sort of check. So I want this opening of this candle to hold. I like this opening. I'm expecting some sort of test, and then I'm expecting the next leg higher. It has an ATR of 14, so I would like, probably see some move into the 633, 634 kind of range. That's where I'm targeting this stock. Because the price on deep in the money calls about a month out were above my price range, I took some shares on Netflix instead, and that is what I'm trading. The premiums are also quite high, so I don't have to worry about that when I'm swinging shares. So my pick this video, I want to give you 3 picks actually, because why not? I didn't have 2 picks earlier in the month because I didn't have the market conditions that I wanted to, but today I have some favorable market conditions. It's making a new all-time high. We found support. We're in strong stocks, so Netflix is one of the picks. We're also going to put Spot again as another one of the picks. And our last one here is DG. So DG is a little bit different in terms of what's happening here daily chart wise. Pretty beaten down stock. It's rallied up. It's formed a pretty nice base over this time, but it's not been really rallying with the market. However, tech stocks have made a big run, and this is a very nice technical breakout in the stock. You can see here how it's above all its SMAs now, broke through this high plus trend line, and has been marching up higher for the last couple of days. Now, it has earnings in about 2 weeks, so I don't expect this trade to go on for that long. We also know that this stock makes a big move, pauses, maybe pulls back, and then makes another big move. So we're going to have to give this a little bit of time again. My target on DG is this gap fill around 154. So let's zoom in on this area here. We have a post-earnings gap on the 31st. So the low here is about 154.38. So I'm going to target 154. It was not able to recover. It was actually an excellent short back over here in September. I remember that. A lot of nice traders were taking DG short. A lot of compression and starts to break out and move through this technical resistance. It's a laggard, right? It looks like asset managers who maybe don't want to over allocate on these tech stocks are putting some money into DG, and they're breaking through some technical levels. In either case, same thing with DG. I didn't want to take shares. Let's look at the M5 chart. Really nice day of gains, and then has some end of day profit taking. That is okay. I'm not too worried about that. You can see how when the stock makes pretty big runs, let's maybe take a look at an H1 chart. The story is a little bit more clear now. And apologize for all the lines over here, but big move up, test, big move up. Now we retest this level. Buyers come in here, they defend the price, and they buy back up to this level. We retest it here. We're holding all the gains near the high, and then we get our breakout today. Through all the SMAs, a lot of technical breakouts. So This is an example of a daily chart that's not as strong as other daily charts, but it's a laggard, nice technical breakout, heavy volume, a lot of qualities we like. So this is going to be my third pick. Let's conclude the video with what we want to watch out for. Really nice day of gains, and we know that it's very unlikely for the market to stack back-to-back days of really big gains, right? Big day of gains, profit taking. Big day of gains, pause, pause, big gap up, profit taking. Big day of gains, pause, profit taking, right? Here, pause, pause, over here. So I'm not expecting another day of massive gains. However, in the unlikely scenario that we do see some stack gains, we are wary of a bullish climax. I think there's a pretty nice defined trading channel over here. And we start to break this trading channel to the upside, maybe around like 518, 520, something like that. We start to break to the upside and the move starts to accelerate. That doesn't normally happen in the market. So we have to look to take our gains into that move because it's getting a little bit too ahead of itself. What I do expect is maybe a nice day of pause, perhaps a gap up, and we fill in the gap, or maybe even a flat open and a day of profit taking and holding. That would be ideal because a flat day over here would mean that the move is still preserved. We hold all the gains of the prior day. We're still able to find relative strength stocks that are breaking out. So that's what I like to see here. Maybe a day of rest, or maybe 2 days of rest right here, and then we get another leg higher on this. That is the video for today. I will be recording another video tomorrow with all of the picks of February to go over. So if I look at my chart here on February, it looks like I was 18-1 for this month. So looks like February was a pretty nice month for us. January, we were 16-3. So if we add that up together, that brings us to 34-4 for the past 2 months of picks. Pretty good track record so far, and I'm just gonna let that speak for itself and not say anything else. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you all in the next video.